James Island's dubbing this the Respect Bowl as we welcome you to Bob Hayes Field for James Island's visit to Wando. Week 1 of the high school football season. QFS Transportation Friday Night Rivals. Driven by Cruz Chevrolet. I'm Darren Goldwater. This is my good buddy Dean Stevens. Respect Bowl is fitting. This rivalry in all sports goes back a ways.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Football, basketball, baseball. These two teams do not like each other, these two schools, and that's what makes it tonight, week 1, so interesting.
Braxton Scott doesn't know this rivalry too well. He's only a sophomore, but he's got the reins of this James Island offense.
Just a 14-year-old kid starting his first game at quarterback tonight. But I think both teams are at a disadvantage. They haven't played a whole lot. They didn't get a lot of scrimmages in because both teams have been in quarantine.
There's a lot of buzz about both of these teams. The reason for Wando, Des Loring can pretty much do everything.
Gotta love the first name Des. But what I also love about this guy, he's going to run the ball. He's electric, but he also can come out of the backfield and catch the football. He had 11 total touchdowns last year. When you got somebody like that, a spark that can catch it out of the backfield, watch for some electricity.
James Island going to get some respect, or is Wando going to win for the 15th time against the Trojans in the last 17 games? QFS Transportation Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Do you want the James Island roster on this side of me instead? Okay. This is play-by-play level. 1, 2, 3. There's a band on the field and a scissor lift behind the end zone. They are. And my buddy's daughter, who's like 12, is a drum major in this band somehow. Yes, good point. They need a level check from Mr. Dean.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got what?
Weak.
I was weak when I began, dude.
See, that's what we need behind. We need the energy. Messing up the name.
Oh, dude, I got. It's been a while. At least personally, announcers on site couldn't be happier to be here. Couldn't be happier that you're watching as the Warriors take the field. It's senior night, getting it out of the way early here for the Wando Warriors. The Warriors are fired up. You can tell just by following their social media posts. You can tell by talking to their head coach, Rocco Adrian. There are expectations around this program. There are numbers now in this program. About 150 kids between varsity and junior varsity as they try and build this in year 2 under Rocco Adrian. And for James Island, culture has been changed by Jamar McCoy. They're dubbing this the respect game. He says, listen, you got to know, James Island isn't just about soccer and baseball anymore. Football is a part of that as well. We're done fighting and clawing for respect. We're out to get some respect here tonight. So James Island's made the trip. And the season opener for both the Trojans and the Warriors is just moments away.
I know you had some positive vibes and positive thoughts about Coach McCoy. And Scotty interviewed him this week. He had one of the great quotes. I don't know where it came from. If it's from Ted Lasso, it's not in the episode I've seen yet. But he said winning is a sound. Losing is a look.
Oh, I like it. Jamar McCoy is a history teacher for James Island as well.
Yes.
And in his signature on his emails,
yes,
geology rocks, but geography is where it's at. He's filled with good quotes.
Wando going to receive the kickoff tonight here at Bob Hayes Field. I always get little goosebumps, tear in the eye when you come out here and you see it. Coach Hayes passed away in June of 2020. Such a huge part of this program.
I remember doing the game last year when they had the memorial for Coach Hayes. You were one of those who were on the video board with a memory. Our friend Everett German and numbers of others. It's good to see the name in 3 different locations on the field. Grayson Dangerfield, he goes by Gray, will kick off for the Trojans. Deep to return, Gabe Major and Des Loring for the Wando Warriors.
May get to see Mr. Electric right off the rip on the far side of the field, positioned at about the 10-yard line.
Last year, the Trojans in their first year under Jamar McCoy made it into the playoffs. Can they build on that? This will be Major from the 5. Their big play threat from the receiving game. He's out across the 35. Give him 33 yards on the return to the 38. And the Warriors will start just shy of the 40-yard line.
If you're Rocco, this is what you like. Starting position to open the year at the 38. Both of these teams fairly young, fairly inexperienced. And as we said earlier, I think each of them maybe had one scrimmage leading up to this opening week because of quarantining at different times for both teams.
They've both had to battle through the adversity like every high school team has around the country. Devin Yard, the quarterback here, it's really no different. He's the starting quarterback, and he's letting it rip on first down. It is incomplete. It is well covered by DJ Dickerson and intended for Gabe Major. Devin... Let's get a look at our Cruise Chevrolet keys to the game here before second down.
Well, I think really for both teams, for Wando, they've got to put pressure on this young quarterback, 14 years old. I think if they pressure him, they're in good shape. As for James Island, they've just got to overcome the early jitters, playing on the road in front of a big crowd here at Wando.
Yard went 7-1 as a starter on JV last year. His initial handoff here will net about a yard. A defensive line that Jamar McCoy told me in practice has been so dominant for the Trojans that at times he's had to get him off the field just to get his offense some work. It'll be 3rd and long.
Watching number 32 come off the field for Wando flashes me back to when I was about first came to this town. You saw Travis Jervey running out of this backfield at number 32.
Devin Yard was in a quarterback battle with the assumed starter coming into this year, John Hutto, who suffered a non-contact injury in practice. They're not sure how long he will be out. It is Devin Yard's team to command now, and it is 3rd and long on their first series. Off his back foot, he floats one out for Loring, who runs under it outside the 20 and explodes in for a touchdown. 60 yards to Des Loring, and the Devin Yard era begins. 6-0 Wando. A Trident Technical College touchdown. Your future, your college.
First play of the game, they go to the right side and look for Gabe Major. That ball a little bit underthrown. Yard going to go back to the left. Holds his safety with his eyes in the middle. Launches it left. And there you see Des. It's like good morning, good afternoon, good night.
It looked like that ball had a ton of air under it, but it was perfectly thrown.
Perfectly placed indeed.
Roca's kick is deflected. It'll be a 6-0 lead for the Warriors after the 60-yard toss that went about 40 yards in the air. And the Warriors have the early lead on James Island.
Remember what we said at the beginning of our broadcast when we talked about Des Loring and what he does well. Yeah, he's electric with the ball in his hand when he's handing off. But when he gets out of the backfield, this is a guy that can catch it as well, makes him a dual threat.
It's funny, the first thing I saw that jumped out to me when I got the rosters and the lineups from Wando was Des Loring was listed as a receiver. It was one of the first questions I had when I talked with Coach Adrian today. I said, why is he a receiver? He said, well, it's because he's going to do a little bit of everything for us.
You talk about perfect placement. And that ball thrown, great air underneath it. And Loring takes care of the rest once he gets the ball in his hand, cuts it back to the middle of the field, creating some separation between him and Jamo Brown.
Number 5, Whooshy. Jaden Ravanelli goes by Whooshy. We'll honor that wish. He's back there with Jamo Brown. Amontre Scott, number 14, also deep to return. As the Warriors will rotate through some kickers. 85 is a senior. Tanner Duncan could handle the majority of the kickoffs. And you can see why. He's going to put this one almost back into the end zone. Instead, this is going to be Amontre Scott. Scott with a move to the outside. An official down on the turf with a flag down alongside of him as Scott blows away the field. We'll check on these flags.
It's going to be a really, really questionable call. It happened right at about the 15-yard line. And it's going to be a block in the back. You see it, right? You have the end zone shot will show it.
Even in replay, Scott looks fast here.
Yep, it happened just behind him a little bit. The official seems to have found his footing.
Coach McCoy told me Amontre Scott, who's only a sophomore, he said he is a major bright spot. He's a phenomenal athlete on both sides of the ball, and you saw it.
Now they're going to call it a hold.
So instead of a 100-yard kick return touchdown for the sophomore, they're going to start inside of their 10, put them at their 7.
So what a comparison between the starting spot for Wando and James Island. They get a great return, started at their own 38. James Island put in a hole here after the holding call on the touchdown for return.
High snap handled by Scott. McKelvey hit immediately by Rosa, but he's able to squirt free and pick up about 7.
He's able to wrap up.
That's about the line of scrimmage.
Yep, he is able to wrap up there. That's about a 6-yard loss. Nice job by Scott reeling in the high snap.
McCoy said Scott is maturing at a faster rate now than he was. He said last year you'd correct a mistake and you'd see the mistake again. Now, it takes a couple months before you see. 2nd down and 10, the handoff up the middle. The Warriors, one of their strengths is that defensive line. All 3 who start are returning starters. And that stop will force a 3rd and long here for the Trojans.
You see McKelvey. I'm not going to call him short. He may be vertically challenged, but he has got leverage. Tree trunks for legs. Not sure where you buy pants like that. Maybe you just go athletic shorts all day.
It'll be a stable of backs. Returning starter McKelvey is. You'll see Ty Maxwell as the game goes along, and you'll see a freshman, Amore Scott, who Jamar McCoy is very, very high on. James Maxwell is the lead blocker here. As McKelvey cuts inside of him, Rosa the first to hit him. Rosa has him slip off him again. And he will be down at the 14. Be 4th down.
I'll be interested to see what this looks like in the fourth quarter, because tackling this guy seems to be a heavy chore. And now you see why he gets the ball in the first 3 snaps. Punishing, bruising, tough to bring down, tough to wrap up.
If you're joining us late, it was a 60-yard touchdown strike from the Warriors quarterback Devin Yard to Des Loring. A 100-yard kick return ensued, but it was called back. And now a 3-and-out, but first a flag.
Delay of game being called on James Allen. And Darren, I really think this is a byproduct of not having those extra scrimmages, right? I mean, it's just the small things, the small details. We haven't really talked about that. What will this game look like? Clean game? Penalties? There's our second.
Dangerfield adjusts to the snap. This one is high and short, and it doesn't take a good bounce for the Warriors, or for the Trojans either. Warriors with a 6-0 lead have it inside the Trojans 25 on QFS Transportation. Friday Night Rivals driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Glad you're with us for QFS Transportation. Friday Night Rivals driven by Cruz Chevrolet with Dean Stevens and Darren Goldwater. James Island dubbed this the Respect Bowl, trying to get some more respect. And when they showed up here, their head coach was announced as the wrong name on the PA announcement until it was later corrected. So there's an added level. Not sure if it actually got down into the locker room or not. But Jamar McCoy's group is now backed up. It's first down for the Warriors just outside the 20. Little stutter step and a lowering of the shoulder. And not much there for A.J. Gathers.
Keep an eye on number 19 for James Allen on that defensive front. John Grant. He is their main guy they turn to in the middle. He is the leader of that team. Only goes about 6'3", 255. Early offers from the Citadel, Savannah State, Newberry. The bottom of your screen on the line.
The line that we told you has been pretty dominant so far, but right through that line goes A.J. Gathers. Picks up about a handful of yards. Looks like from the bottom of that pile was Grant Morrow, number 40, 5'11 senior, the strong side backer.
Keep an eye on where they line up. Loring in the backfield with Gathers. Major split high.
Their big play threat Majors in motion. The play goes away from him. Here's Loring, and he is stuck by Walker Woodall, the consummate leader on this defense, according to his head coach McCoy. It'll bring up 4th down.
They brought Major in motion to the left, hoping to open up a slot on the right. But fumbling of that snap broke everything down a little bit, allowed James Island to find the pressure and find the gaps. And Woodall, perfect tackle to set up a long field goal.
They're pretty confident inside of 40. This is Tanner Duncan, and the confidence from his head coach, Rocco Adrian, pays off. And the Warriors pay off their good field position and capitalize with 3 more. They take a 9-0 lead, still just about halfway through the opening quarter.
Wando's had pretty good success with their kickers through the years here. Of course, Parker White at South Carolina. Seems like he's been at South Carolina for about 8 years, doesn't it?
He has a chance to become the all-time leading scorer for the Gamecocks as well. Something I would not know if there wasn't this show called JB and Goldwater every afternoon from 12 to 2.
Did you find that stat?
I did not. I learned that from our esteemed, knowledgeable Gamecock guests.
So I guess the next question, logical question, would be, who is the all-time leading scorer in Gamecock history?
I believe it's another Wando kicker.
Well,
I believe.
I'm waiting. Do you need me to?
We're not getting any help from the Wando press box here.
I'm going to get on that.
But I'm pretty sure it is. After giving them a 9-0 lead, Duncan's kickoff is much shorter this time, and a little bit of confusion as to who takes it. This is going to be Whooshy Ravenel, and at least the Trojans this time, although botching the kick return, have much better starting field position than their first possession, which started back at their own 7-yard line. A little bit more room for their young sophomore quarterback, Braxton Scott. When his coach told me this week he doesn't turn 15 until early next year. Kind of blows you away that you're a varsity starting quarterback.
Yeah, you're not even close to driving yet.
No.
Right?
When do you get your permit in South Carolina?
15.
All right, so he's close to the permit. Not an arm. He zips that thing out, but it is incomplete. He was looking for Amarian Moore. Apologize for the technical difficulties here. Glad you stuck with us. You missed just a couple of plays. It's a 3-and-out for the Trojans. Braxton Scott did put it in the air, showed off the arm, but it was incomplete. He was looking for Amarian Moore. So Gray Dangerfield to punt for the second time. This one's much better. and it will also take a Trojan hop. Major stays away from it. And the Warriors will start just outside their 30-yard line, leading at 9-0. Well, Dean, if this is the Respect Bowl for James Island, so far Wando has said, listen, you might be out here for some respect, but we're the bigger school. We're the ones that's won 14 of the last 16, and we've got you in a 9-0 hole with the ball right back.
And I think for Wando, their big thing, when you take a look at the last 7 or 8 years, they are looking truly for consistency. I mean, the last 7 years, they've had 3 winning seasons, 4 losing seasons. I think they've had 1 back-to-back winning season. So
this is Des Loring now, slips through the first wave. Loring's got the first down and is pushed out of bounds by DJ Dickerson. It's a run of about 13.5 yards for Des Loring, who reeled in the opening touchdown on the 3rd play from scrimmage for the Warriors.
And he made it look oh so easy. Had a great lead block by his fullback, Mason Roquette. And then he just kind of skates through the hole, turns it to the outside, shows his speed.
Junior Devin Yard, 6'3", 200. Rocco Adrian said they got all the confidence in the world. He's just learning some of the mechanics. He stays poised after fumbling the snap and will pick up 2.5, maybe 3 yards.
I think Wando fortunate on that play. A, to pick up 2 yards. B, not to lose it. And 3, not to have a flag in the backfield for motion. But on both sides, we've really seen that exchange between center and quarterback not quite as crisp as they would like to see it for 4 quarters.
Probably back along the lines of what you were talking about, just not as many scrimmages as these guys are used to. You talked about Jay Grant, the junior defensive end. He's the one that just piled on the back there of Richetti. And the first time we hear from Jay Grant, and it looks like Warriors could go for it here.
I think it's still 3rd.
It is.
But they go fast. They go hurry up.
And then slow down to get the play. Nice pocket there for Devin Yard. Taking another shot here. A diving attempt. Give it to him. Gabe Major lays out, makes the grab down at the 11.
Gabe Major makes a fantastic adjustment. Good pocket. Beats the double team. But it was that last 2 yards when he cut inside to reel in that catch. And another fabulous pass by Yard. Different than the touchdown throw. Touchdown throw had air. This one had zip.
Rocco Adrian said he's got a big arm. He can make all the throws. We've now seen 2 of them. Covering the ball up to protect it as he gets down inside of the 10-yard line. Looks like it was Skylar Sermon.
So you saw Wando's 2 big weapons already. And Loring, Major. And they create such diversity in this offense. You know, you got to watch out for the pass and the run here. Loring not in the game.
But Major split out wide down low. Instead, they stick it with Sermon, and he is run down on the outside. The pursuit from Jamoy Brown brings up 3rd down.
Great pursuit, steps up inside, able to bring him down. If he wasn't there, Grant Morrow was ready to clean it up. This will be a big stop right here. Keep it to within a 2-score game.
Give their offense a chance to find its legs. Still not a first down for the Trojans. On third down, here's Sermon. Edge cut off. He turns it downfield and is down at the 2. Jamoy Brown's at the top of that pile. It's Jay Grant, unsurprisingly, at the bottom of it.
Surprised we haven't seen Loring. He's on the sideline, about the 30-yard line.
Officials timeout here. The Warriors have the option. They can elect to go for it here, or they can take the 3.
If they're short.
See, Dean's got the eyes here. It's pretty tough to tell. This is tucked away in the lower left side from our view. This is the best one, the one you're seeing right here on your screen.
I'm not sure the chain gang's going to have a further walk this year than that one. It's going to be short. Yep.
So James Island can hustle out. They can take 25 seconds and debate it.
Major stays in the game. Loring does not. Loring imploring the crowd, get on his feet, make some noise.
That's a sign of some good culture, right? You got a star player who's not in the game on 4th and goal from the 2, and he's not pouting. He's turning around, telling everyone to make some noise.
Keep an eye on 81. That's Jet Solinger. It's on the right side, top of the line.
Jay Grant, the defensive end, has moved into the middle for this 4th and inches play. Sermon is the back. They hand it to Sermon. He's hit immediately, but pushes forward, finds the end zone, and the Warriors strike for 6. A Trident Technical College touchdown. Your college, your future.
James Island interior line does their job. They make the break. They come through. That's your Walker Woodall. Had a helmet right where it's supposed to be. But Sermon drives through that, breaks the tackle, drags 2 Trojans into the end zone with him.
Roca tacks on the extra point. As far as first quarters go in your first game, points on every drive, and a defense that hasn't given up a first down. That's a pretty good first quarter for your first game for the Warriors so far.
Go back to the first time the Trojans touched the ball on the kickoff after the Warriors touchdown. Returned it for a touchdown, but called back for a holding call. And they've been struggling to find rhythm ever since.
It's the play that set it up.
Looked like Amontre Scott had a bead on it, just barely missed. And again, Woodall had him stopped for the loss. What was it you took away from McCoy that impressed you the most?
There is a overwhelming sense of positivity and drive, and the passion of saying, listen, if you want to be a part of this program, what it takes to be a part of this program. And you can tell that the guys have bought in. That was Amontre Scott. He's the one who returned the kickoff that was then called back. It was a 100-yard kickoff return following Wando's first touchdown. And decent field position for the Trojans, who will have one snap probably before the end of this first quarter.
2 guys on Wando's defense. Number 99, you see him there about the 29-yard line, top of your screen. It's Khalil Edwards. And the linebacker Thomas Willett, also the leader. His team pitching a shutout in the first quarter.
It's an empty backfield. Braxton Scott now on the run. Flag comes in as Scott throws an interception. It's Carter Sullivan who picks it off, the 5'11 junior corner. But we got to check on the flag.
I think they're going to call a holding. It was right at point of contact when Scott started to move out of the pocket. First mistake that we've seen by the sophomore. We call it a face mask. Not sure last time I saw an offensive face mask.
Well, I don't think James Island could possibly be any happier about the first quarter coming to a close.
Well, the good news, they got a second quarter ahead of them.
That's right. Things didn't go so well for the Trojans in the first, and the Warriors are going to have it to begin the second. Inside Trojans territory on QFS Transportation Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Alongside ABC News 4 main anchor Dean Stevens and Darren Goldwater, we are at Bob Hayes Field to kick off the 2021 season for both the Warriors and the Trojans. It's been all Warriors if you missed the first quarter. Trojans don't have a first down. Warriors have points on every drive, and Gabe Major is wrapped up immediately here by DJ Dickerson.
Yeah, they were heavy on the top side of the formation. Three receivers. They put Loring in motion that way, try to get a mismatch. But Major couldn't get Dickerson out of his back pocket. Great job of pursuit. Great job of open field tackling.
One of the big questions for the Warriors, how would they fill the shoes of Braden Pritchard, who threw for 1,600 yards last year? Thought it was going to be John Hutto. Late injury in practice. Now it's Devin Yard's team. Last year's starter on JV takes a hit after picking up about a yard. Give Walker Woodall credit for that stop. QFS Transportation proud to present each participating Holden school a check for $500. This grant provides each school with extra funding to help make their school great. Over the past 11 seasons, Friday Night Rivals and our sponsors have donated over $120,000 to Low Country students and schools. Congratulations from My TV Charleston, ABC News 4, and QFS Transportation. Third down and long. Yard pressured out of the pocket. Throws this one away. It was Walker Woodall once again. Now, this is a guy Jamar McCoy told me the reason he exemplifies what he wants as a player is because McCoy can chew him out, and he responds immediately. Doesn't hang his head. He goes out and does his job on the next play.
Stays with Yard, able to bring him down. But I think that's also mutual respect as well, right?
No doubt.
There's a lot of coaches that will ride players and they don't have respect for them. They'll end up quitting on them.
It's a very dark side of the field, isn't it? Just noticing that looking into that end zone. That ball trickles into the end zone as we throw it down to Trooper Bob.
Hey, guys, I'm down here with Isaac Carpenter with QFS Transportation. Isaac, thanks for being here tonight. Tell us a little about QFS and what it means to be here with the community.
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, South Carolina is a great area. QFS is a transportation company. We do a lot of intermodal work. We take a lot of containers off the freights, containers off the ships. So a lot of the ports you see in South Carolina, we take a lot of those containers off of there, and we do a lot of freight work in there. So it's great to be here. It's an awesome opportunity to be out here, playing football and offering this check off. So thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your partnership. Dean, the lights are out on this side of the end zone. That's why it's so dark up there. I'll send it back to you guys.
Appreciate it, Bob.
Sure, Bob, has it been like that the entire time? And we just looked down to that end and noticed it.
Apparently there's some AC issues as well, so there could be some power issues that are affecting some of the lights.
We did take a power hit to the broadcast earlier.
Yeah. First game jitters for everybody around. Liam Nixon is in now. This is his first series as the Trojans are in search of their first down. That is their first completion out to Amari and Moore, and he's close to that first down. Landon Berry there on the stop. They'll give him the first down at the 30.
And we've got a young quarterback who throws an interception. Maybe you bring him back, let him sit and watch, look at the speed from the sideline a little bit. Nixon obviously throws the ball well. Saw it on his first two. And when we talk out of the shadows of the end zone, we truly mean out of the shadows of the end zone. That one tipped to the line of scrimmage.
And just out of the reach there is Scott. There's a lot of experience back on this Wando defense. Told you the three starters up front. Coach Adrian said, yeah, there's experience. We just needed to be better than they were last year if we want everything to keep moving in the right direction.
I think the advantage Rocco had, he's part of this program with Jimmy Noonan a little bit. Familiar with the personnel.
A little bit of extra heat there. Wide open out in the flat and a gain of about 6. That ball is out. Terrell Miller stripped it, but was he down first?
Miller also limping a little bit. That was Thomas Willett, 37. Did a great job of stripping it, though. I'd say it was Miller that stripped it or Willett?
Looked to me like it was 9, Terrell Miller.
Yep.
Yeah, right there. Also looked to me like Amontre Scott's knee was down. It'll be 3rd down and 3. That last first down, by the way, an A&I Fire and Water Restoration first down, making your house home again after disaster strikes.
Empty backfield, 5 receivers. They want a timeout. James Island does.
Just before the play clock expired, the Trojans take the first timeout of the first half.
We've got a little momentum in this drive. Want to make sure you're clean. This is really the first time we've seen them move the ball. What, they have 3 drives in the first?
3 drives, 2 punts, an interception, no first downs. So this drive is a new quarterback, a first down, and 2 yards away from another one. And they're ready to go. That timeout in that James Island huddle, in and out. And by out, spreading it out wide. 5 receivers now for the Trojans on 3rd down and 2.
Wanda with some speed up in the interior line.
Ty Maxwell is in the game in the backfield, and he just bruises his way straight ahead Another first down brought to you by A&I Fire and Water Restoration, making your house home again after disaster strikes.
He had a couple of bruising backs. And McKelvey, and then we see Maxwell on his first carry of the game.
Maxwell did not play in the first quarter. That was by design from his head coach. But he can be pretty punishing here. Nixon pumps, then eludes the rush, then finds his man out of the backfield. I told you he can bruise you. Ty Maxwell lowers the shoulder, now down to the 30. 26 yards on the completion to Maxwell.
A couple of things to watch for on this play. Love how Nixon, his pocket presence, feels it breaking down, steps up, finds his open man, keeps his head up. And then I love how Maxwell doesn't go left. He doesn't juke right. He's like, I'm going to run you over.
I mean, he's listed 6'1", 221. You see him right there next to Nixon, who's listed at 170. And he can put a hurt on you. Nixon pumps, fires, and it's intercepted. Nixon threw it right to Terrell Miller, the second interception for the Warriors defense tonight. And that takes the momentum away from the Trojans' first successful drive of the night.
Nixon's first read was a quick release on the outside. It was covered. He never saw Miller drop back in coverage. He was wanting to go with Scott on the outside. You see him right there. And a really nice play by the DB to come up, cut off his first option, and then just rushed the throw and never saw Miller. Let's see if James Island's defense could do what they did on the last series. That was a 3-and-out, their first of the game. Now you got Loring back in the game with Major split at the bottom of your screen.
Gathers is back there with Loring. He's the lead blocker for Loring, who cuts it down to the near sideline with a stiff arm. He gets his way into Trojans territory, and they'll spot him down at the 47-yard line.
Seems though Loring's got about 2 carries for about 100 yards right now. But you can see how dangerous he is once he gets to the outside. But again, a nice job by his offensive line to seal off the edge of the James Island defense. Trojans fail to fill the hole. Loring goes right through it.
Unofficially 21 yards there for Loring. Zayden Malden now joins the group in the backfield. Devin Yard was the story in the opening quarter. Starting quarterback with a 60-yard touchdown strike and a 40-yard bullet that set up another score. And you could see him tap his chest after that delay of game penalty. Back to the third member of our crew, Trooper Bob.
Yeah, I'm down here on the sidelines with Ms. Pamela Jabbar, Associate Principal of Wando. Mr. Jabbar, tell us some of the things that you're excited about for Wando this year. We just started the school year a couple weeks ago. What's going on in Wando?
Well, we are very excited about having our students back in the building, and we are always excited about our course offerings. We have over 200 course offerings for our students, and we're excited about that. And of course, we're excited about this football game this evening because we are leading.
Absolutely, you're in the lead. She goes, make sure you watch me. I said, I got your back. Don't worry, this domain is clear right here.
That's right. Watch you have my back now.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Thank you for being with us. Enjoy your game.
Thank you.
All right, send it back to you guys.
Back-to-back penalties here for the Warriors. Part of the Respect Bowl dub is, of course, the fact that the Trojans, coming from 4A, Wando, one of, if not, is it the largest high school in the state?
If it is. I mean, they opened Beckham a year ago. That took a lot of kids out of the school. Wow, what a play.
Look at the pursuit.
Quan Wallace. My goodness.
David Shelton, who's here covering the game for the Post and
Courier.
Courier.
He's been talking behind my back the
whole
time?
He dubbed him as one of the top safeties in the area a couple of weeks ago in the Post and Courier.
How you doing?
You can see the closing speed here. Word from James Island is that he can just light you up.
And did. But again, I mean, he brought down one of the top running backs in the Low Country.
Second down and long. Yard under pressure and throws it away. That was Ankrum, the other defensive end, playing opposite Jay Grant, who got in there to force that throw in 3rd and 25.
A lot like what we saw last possession on their 3rd down. Out of the pocket, pressure. Couldn't find anybody open on that side. James Island's defense, we have seen a much different 11 than we did the first quarter. But again, to their defense, Wando's second drive started at James Island's 14. Oh my goodness.
3rd down and a mile here. Yard will uncork one for Major, and it's just through his hands. He had a step on Dickerson.
I'm going to tell you
and
what,
there's a flag down as well.
Major's down. You can't see it on the right side of the screen. Yeah, Major is down at the 21, pointing at his right knee.
And he is asking for the help of the trainers.
And he's asking the trainers not to touch him.
We'll step aside. Wando with a commanding lead on QFS Transportation Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Just a tough scene to watch unfold. As the young man gets helped off the field, Gabe Major couldn't put any weight on that right leg. James Island's defense has forced a punt on the second straight Wando possession. There's a flag in as that punt angles its way out of bounds inside of the Trojans' 40-yard line, and we'll check on the flag.
Trainer looking like he's manipulating that right knee. You hope maybe just as a hyperextension. Before that play, that I was the first thing I saw on that play was John Grant get by the left tackle, like nothing I'd seen in a while.
And that's what forced Yard to the near side of the field.
Yep. And it was hard to tell what exactly happened to Major. Somebody had fell on that, but he just extended to catch it.
Rocco Adrian called him the deep threat this team hasn't had in a while. He said the offseason was outstanding because of his work ethic, and this is a team that already had its student body president and supposed starting quarterback go down just a couple of days ago in John Hutto, and he was one of the first guys out to him, dressed in street clothes and on crutches.
Braxton Scott back to run the offense now. Last series, it went with Liam Nixon. Put together about a 50-yard drive before being intercepted on a quick pass on the right side. Also McKelvey back in the game. See if they go more run dominated, try to work the clock. But to be successful doing that, you got to get first downs.
They got Maxwell leading the way for McKelvey here. He runs right into the arms of the shark linebacker, Mikey Rosa. That's the name of the linebacking position. I asked Coach Adrian why. He said, really, when I try and think of ideas, I go back to my dad's old stuff, who was a coach for 30 or 40 years.
Oh,
he said one of his positions was shark, so we got a shark.
There you go. It's a shock.
They got Spur and Bandit. That's pretty typical.
Yep.
Warrior, they're Wando. And Shark, those are their linebackers.
Tough to get anything by you.
Depends on the day. 3rd down and 12. Scott will throw, and he throws high. And it'll bring up 4th down. Palmer Coleman was in coverage.
He had Ravenel cutting across. The ball just sailed on him. He hasn't looked comfortable back in the pocket throwing the ball. You see it sail, had him come across.
Dangerfield handles all the punts and kicks. James Island hopes he's their kicker for 4 years. Gets a fine roll here. That'll roll dead at the 25-yard line. So we've pretty much been stalled out for a good bit of time since it's been 16-0 from a score standpoint, with 5:18 to go here in the second quarter.
We talked earlier about Wando's rush to find a little bit more balance when it comes to their win-losses. James Island has been tough sledding for the 6 years before McCoy came in. They were 18-44. In fact, their last winning season was 7 years ago in 2014. Did beat Wando back in 2018, 35-28. That was an overtime game.
They had played every year since 2004 up until last year. Yard able to hang on to that ball. That was Curie Ankrum, who got a hand on it as he wrapped him, and Yard held on.
I don't want to say things are getting chippy out there, but I have noticed after, let's say, little 3 or 4 post-whistle scrums. And listen, that they also may be just the simple fact that you get to play somebody else. Mm-hmm. You get to hit somebody else. You get to tackle somebody else.
Why is it, we can get into this after this timeout, that this rivalry has become as heated as it is? We got a school that's, they're 30 minutes minimum apart? James Island to Wando. How did this rivalry become what it is really in all sports?
You don't have a grenade, you just want to throw at me, or let me just throw the grenade, because that's what's happening right now. Well, from a sportscasting perspective, when I came here, Ronnie Dupree was over at James Island, and they had great teams, early 90s, went state championship, and Wanda was back at their old school, and they were super talented. Right, so basketball-wise, those gyms were packed, to the rafters, behind the baseline. Scenes that we don't get to experience much anymore. Right, so, before 90, I don't know. You'd have to call great historian Everett German maybe to get a little background.
Yard runs into Jay Grant as he gets this one off, and they'll pick up the first down. That's Solinger.
I told you to watch out for the jet earlier. There's a flag down the far side of the field about the 33. So I can't talk about the 80s, but I know in the 90s, basketball-wise, it's because they were so equal, right? Football-wise, again, very competitive. You go back to the Travis Jervey days, you go to the Tony Elliott days, when he was at James Island. So athletically, they've always been very, very close. Now, as a Wando parent of a baseball player and a couple basketball players, right, I saw and heard things that broke the barrier of spirited while at games, if that counts for anything.
That is fair.
So I don't know if there's resentment on the other side of town, or how the Wando folks feel about the James Island folks. But it's always been very close, heated competition. How did I do?
You did very well. You walked that line very, very well. They need to get to the 35 here, and they're going to hand it off to Des Loring. And Loring will get about 10 yards short of it. Give him 9 yards short of it out to the 26-yard line.
Landon Bryant getting the earful from his coaches. You got to be able to initiate that block on the cornerback, and that would give Des the room to make a move. Instead, Des climbs up the back of his teammate. I'll tell you that there was a basketball game, it was Jack's junior year maybe, over at James Island, that one of the James Island students, first quarter, in the cheering section, and it wasn't as if he was well hidden. He was actually on the front row on the floor. And when he turned and then dropped his pants and mooned the Wando crowd, I thought it was very creative. I don't think he was allowed back at any of the sporting events that year, but the point was made. It was awesome, right? So, it's good fun.
Creativity matters.
Creativity matters. Good dude. Great family. But sometimes you just gotta let them know where it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I think we miss those rivalries, don't you?
Yeah, it's always good to have passion out there. Ankrum brings down yard as he throws and forces that interception. It's the first for the Warriors offense tonight, and it is Wuji Ravenel who comes up with the interception.
Well, he watches his eyes the entire time and then steps into it. He breaks on that throw. I think it's Brown.
It is Jamoy Brown.
And they get a break with 3:45 left.
First break that the Trojans have really gotten here. So now can they capitalize on it? They get the ball to start the second half. You put 7 on the board here, and you forget the first quarter when you went 3 and out both times you touched the football.
Right.
And we're down 16-0 at the end. Jay Grant now in as a blocker on offense.
And they're going to keep Scott in the game. They're actually going to take a timeout. Looked like there was some confusion on how the way Scott was motioning to his coaching staff at the sidelines. It was almost like what kind of gaps he wanted his offensive linemen to be. Now, they brought Scott in the last series, ran the ball in the first 2 plays, lost 3 yards. Both those plays right up the middle. Wando defensive line strong. Again, Scott's having trouble finding his rhythm throwing the ball. You go back to the yard interception. Every time he rolls out to the right, he's had trouble either A, finding an open receiver. A couple of times he's put it out of bounds. Smart play there. I just don't think he ever saw Brown break on the ball. He was quick.
It's part of that learning process. When you play JV, had a great year last year. The team went 7-1. He started all those games. But it's a jump up in speed, athleticism a little bit. So the Trojans start from the 27.
Stack line.
got to be coming at you. They do with Maxwell. Maxwell through the first wave, knocking through the second. It's a first down to the 17-yard line.
Mac Pickering got him by his ankles and then looked like a rodeo cowboy being dragged by the bull. Watch him go. See Max on the ground just being dragged along.
If you're going to lower that shoulder and you got Maxwell coming at you, go down and get those ankles. Don't just kind of hang out. It's another A&I Fire and Water Restoration first down, making your house home again after disaster strikes.
They've got basically 8 guys up close to block if they run to the right side.
This will be McKelvey, who juts out to the outside and slips down. That was Palmer Coleman, the corner, will be credited with the stop, but it's 3 more yards for the Trojans offense.
I think the most important thing the Trojans want to do here is they want to watch that clock just keep ticking down. They would love to eat up 2.5 minutes and go a total of 15 yards.
Warriors have a player down.
Is it going to be a cramp?
It's Terrell Miller. Miller, who's already had a pretty good game just tonight, one of the senior leaders on this team. It is hot. It is humid. I'll say this, though. It wasn't as hot as I expected it to be when I was out here. Now, I'm not wearing pads.
When you were running around your padded helmet?
Not in pads, not running around, not doing anything physically demanding whatsoever. I'm in air condition at the moment. Miller pointed to his left leg. And he has not moved much since going down.
Yard on the near sideline talking with Hutto and Osthoff, the other quarterback. You watched Ted Lasso yet?
Watched it. Yeah, I'm caught up.
So
you led me to believe that you haven't caught all the way up yet.
So Kevin Yard needs to be a goldfish.
Good to see Miller up.
And running off.
It's really one of the best new shows that's out there.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a soccer fan, it doesn't matter.
It's not about soccer.
No.
It's about relationships.
Yes.
It's about like me and you.
Playing soccer. The sophomore Scott pulls it, tosses it into the flat, complete down to the 6. Starting to call the name of Palmer Coleman a lot. That was Wooji Ravenel on the reception and Coleman with the stop.
Best throw of the night by Scott. And Scott's a goldfish. The deal about goldfish in that show, goldfish have a very short memory.
Yes.
You gotta have a short memory.
That's key for cornerbacks, kickers.
You know what? It's key for all of us.
I think that's true. That's fair.
Because I'm not a goldfish. I'm an elephant.
That's what I told my daughter the other day. She remembers everything. First and goal for the Trojans. Can they find some points before the half? They'll go with their bruising back Maxwell, who bounces off 4 or 5 Warriors and spins down just shy of the goal line.
I think it's Pickering that makes first contact. See right up the middle. Nope, it's 58. Alex Gomez putting his nose in the middle of it.
This is McKelvey. McKelvey's down. Once again, it's the same guy putting his nose right into the middle of it. Alex Gomez with the first hit.
A really weird play. They don't bring Scott up until late. And it looks like it's going to be a quarterback sneak. And it's a late handoff McKelvey. They give Wando's defensive line way too much time to make adjustments. And way too much time to really bring pressure up the middle.
Longest drive in terms of number of plays, but it started at the 27 of the Warriors. Can they pay it off with a minute to go in the half? Scott's going to throw. Touchdown, Ravenel. Cut inside of Palmer Coleman. And the Trojans are on the board inside 60 seconds left in the opening half.
So Scott finds his rhythm throwing the ball. Somebody gets the knockout belt. He looks the entire way, puts it right where it needs to be.
A Trident Technical College touchdown. Your future, your college. And a wrestling belt is the reward.
Palmer Coleman had a great jump on the ball. If that ball's anywhere else but right in the numbers, it's incomplete or intercepted.
I'll say this about Palmer Coleman. I've been calling his name a lot.
Yes.
From where I sit, I think he's had a great game.
Yep.
Ravenel just got inside him. 16-7 is Wando's lead with 56 seconds to play and another look.
Yeah, I don't know if he could have done anything else.
That's going to be a problem for a couple of years for other teams. Braxton Scott is a sophomore. We've told you about it a lot. He's not even 15. Jaden, the official name, Wooshie. Trying to get it right, but that's what he goes by. He's only a sophomore as well, so there'll be a combination, ideally for the Trojans, for 3 more years.
McKelvey, senior. Maxwell, junior. But I love how Coach Jamar switches up his quarterback situation a little bit, gives Nixon a run, lets Scott kind of sit back, and then Scott responds, right?
You know, he saw success.
By the way, Gabe Major back on the field for Wando. Top of the screen at the 10-yard line.
That's pretty impressive. The way he was acting after the injury.
Yeah.
The body language, the reaction of his teammates, it led me to believe we were not going to see him again. But he's back out there, and that's outstanding news. Not only is he there, but the ball's in his hands from the 11-yard line. Here's Gabe Major. First play back out since his injury in the first quarter. And he plows ahead to about the 34.
See how he gets up. A little slow.
He told his teammates he wants to do it himself.
And he's
okay.
Yeah, now he's down. Back down again.
It's tough to see.
I think they're looking at his left leg. I can't see over one of the massaging his calf. So you hurt your right knee, and then you cramp up in your left calf.
Well, it was tough. It was a right leg. They've got...
It was the right leg that was injured first, correct?
Correct. And right now they're working on both calves, it appears. Regardless,
great.
That's a lot of pain being shown in the emotions of Gabe Major. Meanwhile, on crutches right next to him for the second time tonight when Major has gone down is John Hutto, who was expected to be the starting quarterback. Took an injury late in the offseason. I'm not sure if it was this week or last. And that was a tough loss for this Warriors team. Another senior, just like Major is.
They did a great job in getting Devin Yard ready.
Rocco Adrian said it was actually a pretty good battle. They were ready to go with Hutto. It was a good battle, though. And from everything we've seen tonight, is Yard ready? Yeah, absolutely he is.
If he was in the college ranks, he had already been in the transfer portal when he didn't get the starting job.
Now that we got NIL in college, we got it in high school, maybe we can start transferring freely in high school. Major is still down.
Return was about 20 yards.
Right about it.
Did a nice job.
And it's hard to judge much on the return. He took it on a hop. There was a wave of guys coming at him, so he wasn't able to get full speed even if he wanted to.
It was funny. I'd look down in the bench area where the doctors were looking at him a few minutes ago. I was like, he's not there. They must have carted him off. Maybe he's in the locker room. And then I look up and he's back to return of kick.
Initially, he was on his stomach. Now they've rolled him over to his back, and they've got him up.
Now they're going to carry him off.
Kind of gives you chills a little bit when you hear the crowd chant his name as they carry him off.
Yep. See how Rocco wants to attack this 47 seconds. He's got the playmakers to put together a couple of big plays back to back.
He's got Loring, who's hit immediately and then tag teamed and dropped. Marcus Adams puts the finishing touch on him.
And Jaquan Wallace, you talked about earlier, we saw his speed earlier, and you see it right there again. Loring is slowed down, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes 35.
I didn't see a signal of timeout given. Wando thinks
they're done.
The first half is over, and they've convinced the officials that they're correct. So Wando scores on its first 3 possessions. A touchdown, a field goal, and another touchdown. They did it with the big play, a 60-yard touchdown strike to Loring, a 40-yard strike to Gabe Major that then set up another score. And there was a Sermon touchdown run in there as well, but it was the Trojans that had the last lap of the first half. A touchdown strike to Ravenel from just inside the 10. The Trojans will have the ball when the second half begins, trailing 16-7 in a game that they have dubbed the Respect Bowl. As we await to hear from Wando's head coach, Rocco Adrian. There's been a lot that's happened in this opening half, from the power issues at the stadium to the injuries to one of his star players to the timing issue there at the end of the half.
I think Rocco has walked off. Tell Trooper Bob, I think Rocco's went the other end of the field.
So he'll take that 9-point lead into the half, and we will head to the half as well. Your Roper St. Francis Hospital halftime report, where experience matters, is on the other side of this timeout. QFS Transportation Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Week 1 from Bob Hayes Field. Where experience matters, as the Wando Band has taken the field. Each week, David Eller Law Offices and Riders Law Group proud to highlight scholar athletes from each participating school. The students selected have an opportunity to win a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Dean, we have some scholars on our hands tonight. Lillian Ray not only is committed to the College of Charleston to play soccer, but she's been a team captain for 3 years. I love it. Volunteers with the Sea Turtle program on Folly Beach, as well as her 4.66 GPA. On Wando's side, Ryan Teachman, let me read what he wrote. Helped out with the brain stimulation lab and run a NASA study in which researchers tested the extent to which something can improve cognitive abilities. He didn't write something, I did. Analyzing brain scans of astronauts in order to find a correlation between some physiological changes in the brain and some ailments caused by space travel. That's what Ryan Teachman is doing as a high schooler. And these two are your Scholar Athletes of the Week, presented by David Ayler Law Offices and Riders Law Group. Let's hear more of the David Ayler Law Offices from David Ayler himself with Scott Eisberg.
David Ayler joining us again, presenting our Scholar Athletes. So much fun each and every year to unveil them to you. The process is so cool each and every year. I know our last one during the pandemic was incredible. She even baked you a cake.
Yeah, she literally baked me a cake, and I ate it, of course. Just shows so many of the different talents that these students have. It's so much fun to be able to, see everything they've accomplished when they submit at the beginning of the year, and then watch their performances throughout the year. It's very rewarding.
Yeah, and this is not just football we're talking about student athletes from every sport. And I think that's what kind of makes it fun, is you get to see a wide array of student athletes.
Right, you get to see students playing all different sports, having different interests within the classroom, and then outside of the classroom with charities and nonprofits.
Yeah, and that's always a fun thing. I know our last one heading to Clemson. Who knows where they will go this year? That's David Ayler from our Scholar Athlete Award presentation.
The award-winning Wando Marching Band set to perform as halftime continues on our QFS Transportation Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Halftime report brought to you by Roper St. Francis Hospital, where experience matters. You know what else matters? Now that not only the announcers are back on site, we're bringing back the award-winning feature. The rock star cheer of the night is back Log on to abcnews4.com/poll. Vote for either of tonight's cheer squads. First, you're going to see them, and then you can cast your vote for the Rockstar Cheer of the Night.
Number 87, Michael Costello, with parents John and Doyle Costello.
Trojans fans, let's hear it again. Clap your hands when Trojans win. Trojans win. Trojans win. Go. J.I. Trojans.
Number 88, Ethan Hart, his parents Kelly and Jonna Hart.
Hey, let's go, Wando. Hey, let's fight, Wando. Hey, let's win, Wando. Go, fight, win, Wando. Hey, let's go, Wando. Hey, let's fight, Wando. Hey, let's win, Wando. Go.
Correction, the James Island head coach is Jomar McCoy.
Let's go, Wando. Hey, let's fight, Wando. Hey, let's win, Wando. Go, fight, win, Wando.
A reminder, you can cast a vote in the Rockstar Cheer of the Night simply by going on abcnews4.com/poll. Vote for either James Island or Wando. Now the award-winning Wando Marching Band. Halftime report brought to you by Roper St. Francis Hospital, where experience matters. For almost 30 years, All-American Awards in Mount Pleasant has been your local trophy shop, providing both corporate and sports awards to meet your style and budget. Visit Steve and his crew, All-American Awards. When you recognize excellence, check them out online. Awards Guy, that's plural, awardsguy.com. And we got our mini Lombardi trophy back this year. That really excites me. Every winner this year is going to get that mini Lombardi trophy presented by All-American Awards. All right, some scores from around the Low Country tonight.
Let me tell you what I got right now. Dorchester beating a very good Carolina Forest team, 28-13. Blythewood beating Goose Creek now, 15-7. These are halftime scores. Gray Collegiate over Oceanside, 21-0. Cardinal Newman over First Baptist, 19-0. Timberland beating St. John's 16-6. That also a halftime score. As we roll down to the JV Goldwater, Gaffney beating Somerville 14-7 at the half. Hilton Head Christian over Dorchester 20-0. St. John's Christian losing to Beaufort Academy 27-13.
Those scores from other games around the Low Country on our leaderboard, brought to you by the JB and Goldwater app, where you can get all of your high school scores from around the state. Just download the app. Second half right after this. If there was something to be gleaned from the end of that first half, it was that James Island was starting to grab a little bit of momentum, finally found some rhythm in its offense, and they did that by swapping out Braxton Scott, their starting quarterback, for a drive. From the sidelines, he saw them move the football a little bit. Then he comes back in and eventually leads them on a scoring drive with a touchdown strike to Wushi Ravenel. That's got James Island on the board. That happened less than 60 seconds to go in the second quarter. Now James Island will get the ball to begin the second half. And what has been the theme tonight for the Trojans, the Respect Bowl, the theme tonight for the Warriors has been the play of Devin Yard, the play of Gabe Major, and the injuries, two of them to Gabe Major, twice having to be carried off the field.
I think if you're Coach McCoy, the message was very simple. Now, this is a heavyweight fight. They won round 1. We won round 2. You eliminate mistakes, short punt on that first series, holding call on the touchdown return. I mean, that's a touchdown swing right there. So I don't think the big 5A boys from across the river put much fear into this James Island team, and they get the ball.
They appear to physically match up. It looks very even physically.
They do, and I think if they get a break here, it's that weapon-wise, you can eye and focus in on Des Loring now. You don't have to worry about Gabe Major burning you on the outside.
No, but you might have to worry about Ravenel here, who takes this from the 15, spins his way to the 25, and is triple teamed there. So the Trojans will start from the 25. Maybe they need a break. Maybe they need a good drive. Get some points on the board, and suddenly it's a one-score game. With Dean Stevens, I'm Darren Goldwater. Glad you're with us from Bob Hayes Fields.
Well, I think the other big break for this team is that in the second quarter, Braxton Scott found his confidence, found his rhythm. Because that first quarter, he threw the ball like a young man who was getting ready to play his first game. Second quarter, put a couple of big ones right on the money.
Tykel Maxwell, the bruising back, just follows the left side of his line.
Ball's
now
out.
the ball is jarred free. That was Pickren who got a helmet on it and popped it out, but James Island recovers.
I'm going to tell you something quickly. Great hit. But maybe even better play by Chandler McCracken. I thought it was a wide receiver picking up this ball. It's number 50. Watch big number 50 just pick this thing off the carpet and look like he wants to take it for a run.
He was singled out by McCoy when I talked to him. He said, keep an eye on Des Lewis, poised for a big year, his words. He didn't say at the running back or receiver position.
Yeah, right.
Picked up 2 on the play. It is 2nd down and 8. Scott slides out of there. Gets away from Rosa. That ball's loose. And did Wando get it before it's out of bounds?
They did indeed.
They did. 3rd turnover for the Warriors defense tonight. They are in position inside the 35-yard line.
Watch Scott as he starts to run with it. As he makes the cut, he leaves the ball on his wing on the outside. And it's banged loose. And Palmer Coleman. I think we've said Palmer Coleman's name more than his parents have, like in the last 2 weeks. Not only was he Johnny on the spot, but he also was Johnny smart enough to grab that thing before he rolled out of bounds. And see how Wando attacks off the turnover. You know what I like to do here, don't you?
Take a shot. Instead, they're going to take a shot on the ground with Loring straight up the middle. And you can do that when you got a little bullet who can get 13 yards straight up the gut.
Yeah, it's a shot of lightning bolt. Really like this kid. I mean, he didn't mess around either. He just goes straight forward, right?
Yep. Got 71 yards a game last year on the ground. Breaks through an arm tackle here and picks up another 1.5 yards. They look like Jaquan Wallace, 35, around the stop. They're going to give him more than 1.5 yards. That's almost 3.
Yeah. Wallace's speed and his obvious penchant for hitting has been fun to watch tonight.
It's been fun to get back into the swing of things, calling a game while watching players in front of me, not a screen.
Correct.
Here's Loring once again. I mean, he gets that plant foot down and explodes in a straight line downhill. It'll be 3rd down and a long 3.
big early play in this third quarter for the Trojans defense. Now, it'd also be interesting to see what McCoy does with his quarterback situation. After Scott threw the interception in the first half, that's when he turned and went to Liam Nixon.
Third down and short. Loring again. Ankrum wraps him and will keep him short of the first down. They're going to mark him about a yard shy. Kiori Ankrum, who is getting some looks and does have a D2 offer from Newberry in hand.
Des Loring, he wants to run it one more time.
4 plays on this drive. It's been Des Loring 4 times. Number on his jersey. Instead, they'll try for 3 from 30 for Tanner Duncan, the senior who connected from 37 in the opening quarter. That is a low snap, and it is hooked left. The Trojans defense holds firm after the offense turns it over. Their deficit remains 9 here early on in the third quarter.
So James Island avoids tragedy a little bit. I think a turnover there and a Wando score, especially 7, maybe takes a little air out of the sail early on.
You know, something this Wando team doesn't have that they have had for 4 years is one of the best long snappers in the state.
Yeah.
That snap rolled back.
Yep.
Braxton Scott stays in there. Here's McKelvey. And McKelvey picks up a couple of yards.
Flag comes in behind the line of scrimmage, which is usually a hold. And that's what Wando's defense is signaling. And that's what our referee signals. I do like the way James Island attacks running the ball.
So we've been told typically the end zones are dark. They're darker tonight, at least this one is, because one of the light stands, the one on this side of the stadium on the Wando sideline, towards the end zone, it's out. So if it looks dark, it is. And it probably looks significantly brighter on your screen than it looks in person.
Mm-hmm.
First down and 20. Here's McKelvey once again.
James Island not going to disguise what they do. I mean, they've got 8 guys lined up on the line of scrimmage, a quarterback, 2 running backs. I mean, that is their, it's almost like their goal line offensive look.
And throwing the ball hasn't gone exceptionally well for the Trojans tonight.
No.
So you got to be a little bit more wary.
That last first quarter possession.
Yeah.
Scott hit on a couple of good balls. But I have a hard time believing they're going to throw out of this set. But they may.
Oftentimes tricked Dean Stevens, and he's right anyway. Braxton Scott scampers close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be about 3rd and 12.
You see what they did there?
They made you look good.
Yeah. No. No, they gave you the run look. And they had 19 down the field, but Wando's defense did a nice job. Miller stumbles a bit.
That 19 downfield is Jay Grant. He's their defensive end.
Yes, plays tight end as well.
Yes.
Now they feature a couple wide receivers, Ravenel and Scott.
Said he was out of bounds at the 15, so it's 3rd down and long here for Scott. Late pressure comes, throws into a contested receiver who was Grant, and it was Ty Young who was draped all over him. Very small window to fit that ball into. It'll be 4th down.
I was watching to see if an official was going to go to that back pocket. I think it was a clean play by Young. Great coverage.
So even with the missed field goal for the Warriors, their defense actually pushes James Island back a little bit. A penalty helped.
Already flag down. The center
snap infraction.
Yeah. Wando with an opportunity to start this drive in James Island territory.
Landon Bryant is awaiting this. He started with his heels on the 45-yard line, and the ball doesn't even get to him. Wando instead will start at about the 35 when we bring you back to Bob Hayes Field. 7 minutes left in this third quarter. Wando looking to add to its lead. QFS Transportation, Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Hasn't exactly been an offensive showcase here in the third quarter. See if Wando can change that with their second possession of the quarter. Loring has had the ball in his hands for every offensive play for the Warriors. He gets 9 yards. Fifth play from scrimmage in this quarter, all of them for Loring.
Grant Morrow pulling him down. But James Island brings the pressure in the gaps, and that's a big gamble because if he's able to break that first and second line, he's gone, right? But that Wando's got 7 on the line.
Listed at 5'8", 170, goes backwards, spins forward, and spins into the teeth of that defense from James Island.
That would be the dentures of John Grant he spun into.
Grant, Ankrum, Brown.
Now Grant comes up hobbling a bit.
He's been on the field a lot. Yeah, he doesn't look very sturdy.
No.
You can see him in the middle of your screen, 19.
For a big first gain, they're going to have to, he just needs to fall down.
He does.
Yeah.
You can see it at the top
of your screen.
He
was trying to get off the field, but at that point, Wando was getting ready to snap the ball. College football start in earnest tomorrow.
Does Nebraska and Illinois. Nebraska is a 7-point favorite over the Fighting Illini.
The Brett Bielema Fighting Illini.
Yeah, you know, that kind of slid under the radar at least over the last couple of months for me. And I almost just realized it about this week. I said, oh, yeah, that's right. Lovie Smith isn't there anymore. No. Bielema's there. It's probably a pretty good hire for Illinois.
Gabe Major and workout clothes on the sidelines. Now Lovie Smith now in charge of running what could be the very first 0-17 team in NFL history. It would be the defense of your Houston Texans.
I could tell where you were going with that, with the loving tone.
It just took me a while to get there.
Uh-huh. It's okay, you got your Astros.
That I do.
They lost in the 2019 World Series, if I recall.
They did.
Here's Sermon on 3rd down and short, and this defensive line for the Trojans. Yeah, they got moved around a little in the first quarter, but since then, 9-10 yards, really the most of it.
Sermon had a nice run for the touchdown, but looks for a hole down the line and finds nothing but white jerseys. And again, another great clutch stop by James Island.
In Rocco Adrian's words, they're pretty comfortable inside 40.
Well,
this is going to be 45 for Roca.
So if you're comfortable inside 40, what does that mean at 45?
According to Max Preps, always reliable, last year his long was 48. From 45, this one never had a shot. Started left, twirled a little bit left. 2 missed field goals for Wando in the quarter, and their lead remains at 9 with 5 minutes to go in the third.
I applaud him, but in a 16-7 game, I'm not terribly interested in giving them any more yardage than they need.
The flip side is, if you're punting, what do you gain? If you don't pin them, they're back out at the 20 anyway. If you miss the kick, they're at the 20.
All right. Fine point. Early season point to Darren. That interior, that Wando line has been really, really strong this quarter.
I think that was Jaquan Evans, 56, only a sophomore. 2-yard run there for Maxwell.
I guess when you start with 6'1", 295 on the end, you can kind of crash down, force everything to the middle.
Blake Bynum is playing in the middle. Kalik Edwards is not in there. I'm not sure.
No, Edwards is. Oh, that's Chase Washington on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
Looks to throw.
That's one of the plays McCoy was telling me earlier this week. He said on that RPO, when he pulls it, he's got to get rid of it. If he thinks he's hanging on for too long, now a flag comes in late. You've pointed out the chippiness at times. This is not what that call is. It's intentional grounding and a loss of downs.
Just because there was no receiver on this side of the field or within the zip code? But he was in trouble right when he turned that corner and there nobody was home.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we'd rather have these learning lessons come now than come later once you get into district play.
This entire third quarter has been played, well, in the shadows. It's all been really from the 35 and in.
Right.
And there's been no points to show for it. It's just been going back and forth. Turnover, missed field goal. They got to get out to the 30-yard line here. Braxton Scott will dump one out into the flat. That'll get him out across the 15. That was Marcus Adams on the reception and Terrell Miller with the stop and a flag.
I think that flag is going to be the maybe chippiness of the mouth. I don't think they were going to get Miller on the late. He came in late. I think it was clean that he jumped on, but I think it's going to be a personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Chippiness of the mouth.
And that also gives the Trojans some life. Right? We know that Braxton Scott hasn't looked particularly comfortable throwing the ball.
Right.
So they've been somewhat one-dimensional. Now you give them life here.
Yep.
In a 9-point game late in the third quarter.
Right. At some point in time, it was going to go on some side. We talked about it earlier in the first half.
Big man for the Warriors in the middle. Their nose tackle, Kalik Edwards, is back in there.
Let's see if they can get to a corner here.
Maxwell never had that ball cleanly. He runs into Edwards, who's going after the ball, but he slows him up enough for the Warriors defense to pick him up. It's a gain of 1.
I'm surprised that we've not seen them challenge the edge in the run game. Not at least in this quarter. I mean, you see Wando stacking the middle. Number 9 catching it on the sidelines. Everybody who's got a headset on down there.
Again, it's McKelvey straight ahead, falls down underneath the legs of Alex Gomez. It'll be 3rd down, about 6 or 7 again.
Miller back in. But you know what I'm saying is that they've stacked it so heavy in the middle. And they've not challenged that edge.
It hasn't been too fancy for James Island.
No, it's straight ahead.
McCoy came to James Island after leading his alma mater, Hunter Huss. That school didn't have a winning year in 8 years before his arrival. He completely turned them around, won 2 conference championships. Who's this on?
This is offsides. Could possibly be. Looked like everybody in the backfield moved, except for the ball. Now the guys on the other sidelines of the blue, that happened. Everybody went to their hands to the head immediately.
When that happens, there's obviously miscommunication about the snap count. When everybody moves but the ball. And with that level of miscommunication, there's a timeout for the Trojans here. It hasn't been pretty, but 1 score, and you're thinking, we can go win this game.
And to be honest, I thought it was curious they didn't go for 2 on their touchdown. They certainly have the running backs to do it. But they found the going tough in the middle, just on a straight handoff in the middle.
You asked me before what impressed me about McCoy.
Yep.
I'm going to give you a story as told to us on JB and Goldwater by David Shelton. Shelton set up his media day for high school football in the area. When James Island rolled up, it was somewhere in Monk's Corner. I'm not sure exactly where. When James Island rolled up, it was a coach, it was 6 or 7 players, suit and tie. James
Nice.
Island Trojan ties.
Nice.
It was probably 95 degrees.
Nice. I love that.
That's a sign of the culture.
Looks like they got the timeout before the flag came out.
Scott handles that, and he gets blasted.
I don't know.
Biesenberg.
Listen, first of all, great decision by Scott to eat it. So the problem was, I think it's Jamison Bell, maybe number 14, the linebacker, picked up the screen and covered the receiver coming across the middle. And again,
like Biesenberg tapping his shoulder. Now we're gonna tap this side.
yeah, we got another player down, another crampage. That's Pickering. Max. Of course, his brother Will had played here.
It's been choppy. If you're just joining us, there's been plenty of injury stoppages. There's been penalties, turnovers. Haven't been many consistent drives, really, for either side. The big play is what sparked Wando early.
Yep.
60-yard touchdown on their opening possession. That was Loring. Then a dart to Gabe Major. That set up a score. A turnover led to a field goal. other than those big plays, it's been small chunks here, small chunks there.
Right.
I asked both coaches how much film they have on the other. And they both said the same thing. Look, there's a scrimmage. We exchanged some tape, but what can you really take from one tape of one scrimmage that's not exactly live in all instances?
Not much.
No.
Very little.
So I guess you can expect some choppy play. I wonder if this is the norm around the state.
Well, the other thing that you're going to notice,
Dangerfield's punt floats towards the Wando side as out of bounds shy of midfield.
well, the other thing you're going to notice is, as early as, or as late as yesterday, there are games that are canceled, and there's teams finding somebody else to play. So Fort Dorchester, perfect example. They were getting ready for like somebody that ran some crazy offense, and in 24 hours they got to get ready for Carolina Forest.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with Somerville.
Yeah. Somerville went up to Gaffney.
Right. They lose their game with Westside. So I think it's going to be a lot of that. Oceanside had it last week. They were supposed to play at home, didn't happen, and they end up going the next day to Charlotte.
Stumbling through the first wave as AJ gathers. Hasn't had too many opportunities, but he picks up 8 there. Jamoy Brown around the stop. We've called his name a lot.
You see 16. T-Ray Ankrum opting for the quarterback and missing the handoff on that edge. Really opened up a hole.
Now it's the quarterback Yard who's got the first down. Slides, stumbles, somewhere in between. A first down close to the 30.
You can see a lot of these guys kind of trying to gather, stretching out the hamstring. Loris wiggling the bottom part of his leg.
Devin Yard, late pitch. That one went backwards, but it also goes out of bounds. The Warriors will keep it. That one never really had a shot after opting not to go with the initial give. Ankrum was in there to blow it up.
Yeah, nice job by Ankrum. Even better job by Ankrum not finish off that tackle.
Yeah.
Right? And then they had something to say, and then Yard gave him the yapping sign with his hands.
Second down and 13. Look at that spin move from Des Loris. Loris was dead to rights for a loss of yards. Instead gets about 6 outside the 25.
After the last play, you could see Loris limping a little bit. And then after that run, crampage case 8 or 9.
You wonder, or at least I do, with the stoppages and starts that a lot of these teams have had to go through.
Yep.
How much that affects preparation and your body's preparation to come out and play an actual game, not just a controlled scrimmage in this heat.
Yep.
I would guess that athletic trainers would tell you there's something to that theory.
You've been laying in bed at night, stretched the wrong way, the calf cramps up.
Yeah, that's like, how it happens with us.
Right. And it's like 3 in the morning and it's 71 degrees in your bedroom. Right?
And then you're not going back to bed.
And you want to right, okay, so this has got to be times 1,000,000, right?
And you hope, that's what that is. That we
I think they're
know.
working on both of them. I think the trainer at the top is working on the left leg, and the other trainer is working on the right leg. Double crampage.
And we've seen some cramps. We've seen obviously some worse. We don't know the extent of Gabe Major's injuries.
I was watching him walk around. He was moving okay.
We saw Jay Grant try and stay on the field for a play and almost fell down.
You can see the way he got up. He got up like the Tin Man.
Oh.
Parents, if you're wondering if your kid's at the game or not, we'll give you another wide shot and see if you can find him.
What does Trooper Bob tweet out? It's 9 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?
It's 9:35. Big third down play.
Low snap, and it is recovered by James Island.
Wow.
That bounced right to Ryan Manigault. This has been a sloppy third quarter.
And I'll go back to what you talked about. I think the stoppage of play has just stopped the flow of this game. I mean, we've had multiple timeouts for cramps and for injuries. And I think that in large part contributes to what we saw here in the third quarter. Put your seatbelt on because the fourth quarter's coming up. So Wando not able to put James Allen away. Trojans refuse to go away.
Yeah, you can look at it whichever way you want to spin it. Wando's had every opportunity to put him away. And the Trojans still have an opportunity to win. Rosa in pursuit. Got him. 4 yards back behind the line of scrimmage. The junior Mikey Rosa brings down Braxton Scott.
Now Miller is limping off.
And now we'll have another stoppage. It's the end of the third quarter. QFS Transportation Friday Night Rivals driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Scoreless third to the fourth we go. Third down here for the Trojans. You just missed Braxton Scott whipping a dart into Ravenel to get him within a yard of the first down. So it's third down and short. It'll be McKelvey, and that's a first down for the Trojans, pushing out across the 45-yard line. Ty Young finished the stop. Looked like it was started by 53, Blake Bynum. First downs have been few and far between for the Trojans.
So you watch that run where he went left and they cut back right, had a little bit of a seam. A little more effective than just going straight ahead. I think if they're able to find a way, again, to slant off these runs, I think that's where you're going to find more success than just going straight ahead.
Wando showing pressure off the edge.
Step up.
And it doesn't. It catches Braxton Scott off guard, and another turnover here for the Trojans. That's number 4. Fumble recovered by Mike Urosa.
He never saw the pressure coming from the backside. Didn't feel it. But that pocket broke down quickly.
Not sure if there's been a number change. We don't have a 14 on our roster. Jamison Bell. See, that's when it helps. You have the wrong roster, you're in the right press box to get the right answer.
This one right here, that guy?
That guy. Why is he not on mine? Did I print the wrong one?
No. Ball back on the ground.
Yes, it is. It was almost recovered by the same Trojan who had the last one. Manigault had one bounce off the leg of Yard, I think, on the last possession. Almost got it again. They lose about 6 here.
Practice today, young men. We're going to watch the quarterback and the center exchange snaps for an hour.
But shoot him back in the shotgun. I think we've seen one snap from under center today. James Islands around the goal line.
I would not disagree with you.
2nd down and 15.
Oof.
And Sermon.
They missed. Listen, it was after the whistle. It wasn't much. But you've got Coleman, Greer pushing the James Island guy well after the whistle. Those are the things. A flag comes out there, and you do not want to be in film tomorrow. Clock at 10. Late substitution, Landon Bryant.
Play clock now at 5. Wando's going to need to take a timeout here.
Rowan Dickens tried to go in and then was. Again, I really think this is first game stuff. One scrimmage.
Cruz Chevrolet drive of the game. Guess what? It's presented by Cruz Chevrolet on Rivers. You've got a friend in the car business. And this is a Wando drive that ends up with Wando very close to the end zone and Sermon pushing for the end zone and into the end zone. That gave him a 16-0 lead. They haven't scored since. That was around the end of the first quarter. The Cruz Chevrolet drive of the game. You've got a friend in the car business, Cruz Chevrolet on Rivers. Got some new songs. Got some new background music.
Yep.
QFS Transportation Friday Night Rivals this year.
Clock at 3.
3rd down and forever. AJ Gathers gets him back to within 4th down and about 14. And what we saw in the 3rd quarter has trickled its way over into the 4th.
I'm going to tell you what, Joy Brown came up full steam and put his head into him.
The great thing about this, if you're a coach, well, it's been frustrating for coaches, I'm sure, and the players, is you can still keep the same mantra. Look, man, you make one play.
Yeah.
If you're Wando, you make one play, you put this game away. If you're James Island, you make one play,
right,
and you got a shot to win this game.
Correct.
Roca puts it on the turf, then wobbles one. That goes out of bounds inside of the 15-yard line. We'll step aside here from Bob Hayes Fields. Most recent score was one at the end of the 2nd quarter. It was the Trojans. They still trail by 9. Let's see what the Trojans can muster here. 8:12 left, along with the main anchor for ABC News 4. You want to talk about a hard-working dude? 5 o'clock
Stop
anchor,
it.
6 o'clock anchor. Comes out here.
Just hangs out with you.
Deals with a 3-take open and then calls a football game. Here's Braxton Scott now. There's a flag down in the backfield as Terrell Miller stops him.
Yeah, they're going to have a hold on Hodges Galden. Got a... Yep.
It has the feel just one of those.
Are you waiting for somebody to break?
I'm waiting for something to break, largely because a lot of guys' legs out there, while not breaking, are giving way.
Right.
So it's very easy to see a situation where someone is out of position because they couldn't get there. But James Island's just made it a lot harder on themselves after that penalty. It is first down from their own 3.
You know, as strong as these running backs are, I'd love to get them out in open space outside of the box. I think that's where they do damage. If you're looking for a big gain, I think that's where it's coming from.
Braxton Scott has pressure right up on him in the end zone. Terrell Miller got him. Ball's out. Who's got it? There is no official signal yet. There it is. It's a safety. So that makes it an 11-point game. Ball security has been one of, if not the, primary concerns for Jamar McCoy in this James Island offense tonight.
You see Jamar McCoy coming all the way across the field to talk to his quarterback. Maybe just be with a young man who, again, is 14 years old. And I will tell you this. That is not on Braxton Scott. Wando interior in the line overpowering James Island offensive line. And I think maybe he's looking to make sure he's not shaken up, and I'm not sure he's not. But you can see on the replay again, Scott didn't have a prayer back there.
That's at least twice that Miller's been around a turnover.
I think they're looking at...
He almost stepped out of bounds.
Look at it to see what happens. Some of this... Yeah, I think you could tell right there something happened injury-wise on the right side of your screen. I think that's why McCoy came out, to see what was going on with him. You see him over about on the 50-yard line on the bench, bent over. Hard to see him now behind a coach, but again, he didn't have a prayer after that ball was snapped. Wando with a great push. You know, and you go back to the play before that, the pressure on Scott, the holding negated about an 8 or 9 yard gain.
Gray Dangerfield slips. The ball then does the same, slipping right past Loring, and he'll protect it down there at the 18. So
Loring may be making the smartest play of the game, right?
And really, when you're kicking off after the safety there, and you get a low squib like that, you'd think you'd be giving up a lot more field position than putting them back inside of their 20. That's worse than what would typically be if it's your regular kickoff.
Correct.
But neither offense has been able to move the football in this second half at all.
James Island tried to pound it away in the third quarter, running it almost 80% of the time. Didn't work.
Zayden Malden, only a couple of carries here tonight for Malden. He's hit by Jaquan Wallace.
That's what fresh legs look at right there. You were talking about tired legs. Those are fresh legs.
He had 2 carries last year. Adrian told me they really like what they've seen out of him, though. Manigault hits him up high, and it was Woodall who got him down low.
And the flag is going to push him on back. It'll be interesting to see if we see Dixon come out. Ran a series in the second quarter, was pretty successful. So he threw a pick.
That was the first time we saw James Island's offense move, though.
Yep. And again, I'm looking across the field. Right about the 50, you see a couple of blue shirts talking to Scott. Now, Dixon throwing a football on the sidelines.
Keep it on the ground, which makes all the sense in the world right now for the Warriors. Why make a mistake? Why give the Trojans the ball and an opportunity to get, well, I'd say back into it, but it's not like they're not in this game. They're very much in it. It's a 2-score game at 11 points.
They're a big play and a 3-and-out away from having a chance to win it.
That's it. They got to get out to the 40-yard line. Second down and about 16 here. This is Des Loring, and he can't stretch it out.
Nice job
Wallace again, was it? Yeah. Him and Manigault.
Yeah, he just had a handful of jersey and waited for his guys to show up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the undershirt, too. That's not even the jersey.
See, they're just making the undershirts too strong now.
Yeah.
They're not just ripping away and letting you break free.
Right.
Pros and cons of technology.
It breathes right, though.
3rd and 15, they try Loring on the other side. Manigault is all over the field. He's in the backfield when the ball's on the ground. He's on the left side. He's on the right side.
Yes.
He's everywhere.
Flying to the ball, too.
He's officially second on the depth chart at linebacker, but he is on the field and all over it.
James Island takes a timeout, 5:12 on the clock.
I like the timeout.
Yeah, really smart.
Yep. Chance to get the ball back in good field position. Limerick Heating and Air, cool play of the game. The coolest play of the game would be get the AC working up here. But we're going to get our Limerick Heating and Air cool play of the game going right here with Terrell Miller's forced fumble. It results in a safety, and the score that we're looking at right now for the Warriors, 18-7. This was the last James Island possession just a couple of moments ago. Your Limerick Heating and Air cool play of today. I was reading down low. Call today and get comfortable tonight.
Get it.
Let's call them.
Call them over.
Limerick Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We need you here at Bob Hayes Field in the press box. We'll call you today and be comfortable tonight.
I think the other thing Scott's going to learn from this.
Here's Roca. Where will they mark him down? Will he be just outside? He should be.
I think James Island would like it at the 1.
They gave him the safety.
They get the safety back. When was the last time you saw 2 safeties in a quarter?
About the last time I saw 2 quarters without a first down.
You talked about the snapping earlier. Last year's long snapper. The man who made flipping over cars famous.
Yes, and I believe he ended up at South Florida.
Yep, he did. I see it. I know, just say it. Just say it. You can't.
No, I can't. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Do you know why?
Not prepared well enough?
No, never that.
Oh.
No.
Oh, long snapper last year.
Older. Matt Gresham.
Yes.
Now you had that part.
I got the USF part right.
All right, it's about getting older, my friend.
Yes, that's true too.
With a
I didn't
child growing up.
It's pretty rare when I go deep into prep to
long snapper.
Which long snapper have you lost from last year's team?
Listen, I've worked with you many a year to know. Those are things you could just pull out of your memory bank, right? But right now the ATM machine's down. You can't get anything out. It's okay.
So we're back to a 9-point game.
Yep.
18-9. That's an odd football score.
You got an 8 and a 9 in the squares.
Yeah, it's a good Super Bowl square. Here's Whooshy Ravenel, and Ravenel is going to put James Island across midfield with less than 5 minutes to go.
I have post-traumatic flag disorder, and I thought for sure they were going to get a push in the back there. But you've got James Island on the Wando side of the field. New quarterback, Liam Dixon. Saw him earlier. He is, without question, the throwing quarterback. And the other thing it's going to be interesting to see here, how fast they go with this offense. All right? And oftentimes, when you speed things up, you have a chance to succeed. Gets the defense off rhythm.
Well, Nixon gets that one out a little bit low. Wanted Maxwell. It does stop the clock.
Yeah, he didn't. His first couple options weren't there. And by the time he got ready to throw it, Chase Washington was there.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Trojans. Ravenel, who had the touchdown in the second quarter, he's at the
pressure from the defense, from the DB.
Field. Yeah, he's Nixon, tried to force that one in, and is lucky it wasn't picked off by Willett.
Great play by Willett. Senior play, experienced play. He had a man open for a second on the sidelines, but Willett closed that window so fast. See Willett in the center of your screen, just going to follow the quarterback over. Then he sees the man there. Again, he had Green, but man, just for a split second.
Green hasn't been on the field much. The reason he's out there now is McCoy thinks he has the opportunity one day to be one of those guys who is just a highlight reel. Ball down, Nixon scoops it up, Nixon goes down. That play was dead as soon as the snap went back on the turf. Chase Washington, 99, will get credited with the stop.
You know how teams will come together and they'll have joint practices, joint scrimmages. They'll have their center quarterback exchanges together, right? Both of them have been short of flawless today. A lot of those snaps short of the QB.
Yeah, I mean, this goes both ways.
Right.
A lot of plays never had a chance.
Yep. Well, throw it up, see if you get something good to happen or interference call.
That's what it'll be on 4th down, double coverage, and you're not going to get either one because it's going to be knocked away by Max Pickering. And Wando will take over with 3:54 to go and a 9-point lead. Player of the game sponsored by Reliable Equipment. Tonight's end zone scissor lifts provided by Reliable Equipment. We rent the good stuff. Our player of the game is going to be Des Loring. Des Loring ran under that one. 60-yard touchdown. That started the game. That was the game's 3rd play. Showed some shiftiness out there as well on the ground and in the receiving game. And the player we told you to watch out for, wearing number 4 for the Warriors, is our Reliable Equipment player of the game. We rent the good stuff, like scissor lifts.
Yes.
When you need camera angles without lighting. Right there. See, it looks lit because Robert Hayes Field is pretty much lighting him from the back.
Correct. Anything but the run, I'll be shocked.
Yes, a flag is in as well. Also
That
not
is not
shocking. Walker Woodall with the stop. I mean, the Warriors' job right now is just kill this clock. But they will hurt themselves first and move back 5 yards.
I think next week we've got Fort Dorchester and Dorman. I don't remember.
Be a lot of fun.
I don't remember where Dorman is ranked, but they're not 1. Dutch Fork 1, but they're highly ranked. Fort Dorchester 2 right now in 5A. The only 4A team in our area that's ranked is Buford. In 3A, it's OCA. There's 6. And 2A, nobody's ranked. Woodland does get a mention.
Jay Grant's helping to wrap up gathers.
Woodland was, I think, of all the teams that lost a game today, I think Woodland may have been the most disappointed. I mean, 2A playing Stratford, chance to play somebody, 3 classifications higher.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some players on that team, Division I Saturday guys. And then in 1A, Baptist Hill, they also had their game canceled today. I mean, think about it. We literally have 3 teams in the Tri-County ranked out of 50.
Third down, Loring gets blasted up high. Walker Woodall's had a nice night.
Yeah.
He really has. That was 13, however, not 53. So it wasn't Woodall. Instead, it was Marcus Adams. That'll be the last time out here for James Island.
Next time you get Shelton on the radio, ask him about that. Right?
Well, I mean,
think about that.
Traditionally, we've had stronger teams in the upstate. The question is why, and how can you fix it?
Win,
yes. I think from this game's perspective, if you just want to look at a team like Wando, a 5A school right here, one of the largest enrollments in the state.
Yep.
The fact that they now have numbers.
Right.
As someone put it to me, they're having trouble finding enough locker space and enough equipment. They've got about 150 guys, and not just varsity and JV, but down into their middle school teams.
They've got a B team as well.
Yeah, you're starting to get those feeder systems coming in. It won't, Fort Dorchester didn't get good overnight. They started to get their feeder systems in. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
I think it was 3 years ago. Wando didn't have a JV.
It wasn't long ago when their numbers were way down.
It was either 2019 or 2018.
Little pooch kick here for Roca. Trying to corner it, and he does, about as well as he can do. It's down at the 10-yard line. 2.5 to go, up by 9.
But you took
got James Island back down to 10.
There you go. But you look at some of the perennial powers that, are struggling, the Berkeleys of the world and the Somervilles of the world, right? The Walterboroughs of the world that went into Colleton County. They, that's where the beef was, right?
5 receivers for Liam Nixon. It's a third drive for Nixon. Pressure picked up through the middle, and that one slips through the fingertips of his intended target, Connor Norris.
And I will not, listen, there's no reason to dance around it, but Oceanside certainly has talent. And not just from this area, but from all over the low country. Got some time to throw the ball, and he does.
Yeah, Wando dropped everybody back in pressure. Maxwell drops it. Look, it's hard to maintain your focus. Whatever your role is in this football game, on the field or off it, it's been very choppy. And that's really just the best word for it. On again, off again.
Choppy. No flow.
Third down and 10. Nixon flushed out. I think he's across the line of scrimmage, and I don't think Ravenel hung on to it.
That was not the flag. The flag was holding. So they will decline that. And we'll run third down again. You know, we usually talk about this. One game every year we do this thing. And the conversation's usually, this isn't even worth like a Sunday sit down, let's look at the film team kind of game, right?
It's hard. The only advantage to looking at the film when you break this down is the film's chopped up. Not like choppy like we're watching the choppy game.
Oh, I see, yes.
It's chopped up to play.
Right.
But it's hard to get a feel for your guys because this almost isn't indicative of what it's going to be moving forward.
And by the way, it's still a 9-point game.
That is very true. Nixon uncorks one that's incomplete. Well covered there by Carter Sullivan. That's a turnover on downs with 2 minutes to go.
The good news across the sidelines, Braxton Scott standing, still talking. Looks to be maybe the trainer.
You know, we talk about flow. Underneath number 7 helmet, Devin Yard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You like that flow?
I love the flow because I got big curly hair too, and that thing poofs out, man. It's sharp.
Like now?
Right now,
yours?
No, well, it's short now. My hair got butchered recently.
Okay.
But if I were to grow it out, it wouldn't be as full as Devin Yard's. I mean, he puts me to shame.
Devin's got a little bit of a Spencer Rattler too.
Yes. Good call.
Thank you.
Good call. They're going to add to this 9-point lead here. They have first and goal from the 10.
Geez.
Hey, look who it is, Manigault. And wisely, Yard didn't even hand that ball off to Loris.
I don't even think he could. Minute 56 for Wanda. They want to try to. You could. Woo.
You know what's consistent? We're 12 years into Friday Night Rivals.
Say it.
With which all of our sponsors. The road team dominates the cheer competition. 97% of the vote goes to James Island in our Rockstar Cheer of the Night. Every week, every Friday night, abcnews4.com/poll to vote. If you're at the game, by the way, you can do it on your phone. You can watch the game on your phone.
Yeah.
You can vote. So Fort Dorchester fans who are watching, help out your squad next week. Get on the phone during the game and vote.
Well, Des securing it as he goes to the hole. I think you know, as we look ahead to next week, you got to hope the rain stays away. There will be remnants of Hurricane Ida out there somewhere. That storm's supposed to hit the New Orleans area Sunday. On the day, the 16th anniversary of Katrina. Oh, by the way.
Is that right? I did not realize that. Loring gets to the edge. There's a touchdown for Loring. See, we name him player of the night, and he caps it off with his second Trident Technical College touchdown of the night. Your future, your college, your player of the night. Des Loring has his second touchdown, which puts the nail in the Trojans' coffin.
Nice pursuit on the inside. Scott can't wrap him up. I think Loring gets better as the weather gets cooler.
So do I.
I get a lot better when the weather's cooler too. You?
Yeah, I get much better when the weather's cooler. I don't know what I'm doing living here for the last 20 years.
Top of your screen. Oh, you had it.
See, that's strong. Loring's hair, that's strong. He's found the end zone a couple of times. Meanwhile, that's Gabe Major. Good to see him looking good, smiling. There's the flow. Look at that. It's Spencer Rattler. You're on it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Wando, which thought John Hutto would probably be the starting quarterback, he gets hurt. This young man, Devin Yard, went 7-1 for a JV team last year. He's about to win his varsity debut. And this game may not be pretty, but Wando can spin this in a very positive light.
Yeah.
Listen, not only did we win game 1, it wasn't pretty. One of our main guys goes down in Gabe Major.
Mm-hmm.
We got a guy making his first varsity start who's now won 8 of his 9 games that he's started as a Warrior.
Right. They survived.
Yeah.
Right. This was Survival Island. They stay. Again, they've got obviously things to work on, things to fix. But if you go back to that first quarter, which seemed like 2 days ago.
It was. This is DeMarcus Green. That's the one I told you Jamar McCoy has real high hopes for. He wants to see him. Yeah, he wants to see opportunities for 23 to get the ball in his hands. Not the biggest guy.
We shouldn't say goodnight with at least one more crampage. But yeah, I love that speed at 23.
Nixon will have the final series as well for the Trojans. There was a glimmer of hope for James Island. It started when Nixon went in. His drive ended up stalling out.
Yep.
But it was a drive or two later that Braxton Scott led the Trojans into the end zone. That was in the second quarter. You think there's some momentum come out after halftime, and this game never got out of the mud.
No. When you go back to Yard in that first quarter, I mean, 2 passes, 2 throws really summed it up. One was the deep ball to Loring and floated it and just put great air underneath it. And the next one to Major was, 35, 40 yards zipped on a line. Right? So he obviously has the ability to throw those two kind of balls.
Landon Berry is up. And the Trojans will scrimmage here from the 25 and a half. The respect they were hoping to earn here will have to wait another year for the next matchup with the Warriors. Blitz picked up by Maxwell. It allows for the deep ball, and it is well played. Kerry Hayes looked like he was beat. He comes back to get that arm out.
That was a hold your breath moment. But Hayes made a great play on the ball. Had his eyes on the ball the entire time.
Second down and 10 now. 15 seconds left. Liam Nixon. Another flag with 10 seconds to go. And a massive hit will close this game from Max Pickren. A deep leader from Pickren with 6.5 seconds to go.
Kane Bay with a big win tonight, 42-14. What you got there?
I'm just in awe of that Pickren hit. Nixon hung his receiver out to dry a little bit.
This is what happened where I went to high school at Houston. Clear Lake High School, big basketball team down towards the coast. You would go play there, and they wouldn't turn the AC on. But they would practice with the AC off. So by the first half, you're toast.
Yeah.
You were done. And that's what's happening here today. I don't think they want us to come back.
Oh, you're talking. I was wondering how they turned the AC off outside. You're talking about us in here.
No, it's cool. It's nice and cool outside. It's a good breeze.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's cool.
I think this is what it is. I think they're just trying to sweat us out. If I'd have known, I'd have brought just a towel, wrap a towel around my waist.
I brought one of these.
You're gonna need a bigger one than that.
It's gonna be soaking wet by the end.
Dixon going deep.
into about 5 different Wando jerseys, and that was almost intercepted by Kerry Hayes, and that will be the final play of the game. It wasn't pretty, but Des Loring scores a couple of touchdowns, and Wando wins the opener. And they start their year 1-0 in year 2 of the Rocco Adrian era. Year 1 is the official head coach with the interim tag removed, Rocco Adrian. And the Wando Warriors capture the opener to the 2021 season. We'll give you the trophy presentation of our mini Lambo trophy. Lombardi, Lambo. See, it's a long night. 24-19. Time for our trophy presentation, and for that we throw it down to Trooper Bob with the Wando head coach Rocco Adrian and the team.
Hey, thanks there. Coach, yes, you were quick to score in the game. A couple plays in, you scored, you took it to halftime, and you brought it to the end of the game. What did you tell your players at halftime to keep that momentum going?
What I told them is to be themselves. Keep working hard, keep pushing, keep getting after it, keep working on their techniques, and, let's bring this thing home.
You can't ignore the heat. I mean, it's hot right here. Was that a factor in tonight's game?
Yeah, it's hot. No doubt. We got guys cramping all over the place, so that's something we have to look for, work at, and try to make sure that we got some things to make sure that they're ready to go next week. Yep.
Well, congratulations on the win. I got a trophy for you.
All right, awesome.
All right, this is the QFS Transportation Trophy. Congratulations on your win. Thank you.
Losing is about to look. Or losing.
QFS Transportation Trophy presentation to the Wando Warriors. They get to keep that thing. That'll wrap things up here for week 1. QFS Transportation Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruise Chevrolet. We appreciate all of our sponsors for helping to make this game possible, as Des Loring scores a couple of touchdowns and leads Wando to the win over James Island. Don't forget, next week, we've got one of the premier matchups in the state. Dorman and Fort Dorchester next Friday night at 7:30. Stay tuned tonight at 11 o'clock. QFS Transportation Friday Night Rivals with Scott Eisberg and Natalie Spella coming your way on ABC News 4.